Do you have an area of your landscape that is an eyesore, that you would consider an eyesore? Is it an area that you don't want your company to see, that you really wish you could do something about? Is it somewhere in the back that's hidden away from everybody, or is it out in plain sight, maybe in your front yard? Well, I have just that area and you are looking at it. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Kim. I am a landscape designer and consultant. If you've come back, welcome back. I am looking at the most embarrassing place in my landscape. As a landscape designer that goes out and creates beautiful landscapes for others, I feel like my landscaping needs to be the best, right? Well, I'm exposing my bad area today. This is our backyard. It is a gorgeous patio. We have a bell guard patio. We have a fire pit, a retaining wall. We have a hot tub. And then there is this eyesore for a bed. And today I want to do something about that. After many, many years of this being the catch-all, I have put a hydrangea in here that doesn't match anything. I've thrown roses in here that have just sort of struggled because the shade from, we have a willow oak above us, has just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, so the roses are no longer thriving. And they just don't look good, and I am so embarrassed for anybody to see this. So today I want to show you around, and then I want to talk through some inspiration, and then in the next couple of weeks we are going to go plant shopping and we are going to renovate this area. One of the most important aspects that you need to think through, that I'm thinking through, is the functionality or the use of the space that you are going to renovate. Well, this is a bed that borders my patio, my backyard. This is a space that we come out and enjoy coffee. We'll have fires in our fire pit. We love getting in the hot tub. And so you want to think through your views. Do you have views that you don't want to block, or do you have views that you want to block? That sort of thing. So I wanted to show you around this space so that you can kind of get an idea of what I'm looking at. So here is our fire pit. As I said, it's beautiful stone wall fire pit. We have a gorgeous bell guard patio. We have a table and chairs. We took the cushions out because the hurricane was coming, and we haven't put those back yet. And then you move along over to our hot tub. Where is the bed that we're looking at? Well, it's right here. It's sort of an I shape here in the cutout of the patio. And then it follows in front of the hot tub and then behind this lattice right here. Okay, so let's take a closer look. Okay, so this is the view looking out from sitting on the patio of the bed that I want to renovate. There is a gorgeous Japanese maple in it that I definitely want to keep, and then a hodgepodge of everything else in there that I want to rip out, including the hydrangea, unfortunately. There is a massive willow oak over top of it, and it provides a lot of shade for this back area. This is the view that I absolutely love. This is a view that I want to open up. So as you can see, it sort of looks from the beams underneath the porch, it almost looks mountainous from the hot tub. And this is one of my favorite views in the entire house. Well, when you're sitting on this side of the hot tub, you can see how this rose has grown up and it obstructs the view. I don't like that. So in my thoughts, in this bed, I definitely want to keep that in mind, that I want to be able to see out all the way from the hot tub. Here is the view looking from the yard onto the porch. So as you can see, the I-shaped bed follows all the way around the patio. Okay, so on the back side here, we have the wall of roses that are beautiful when they first flush out in the spring, and then throughout the season, they just get tired looking. And so I want to rip all of these out. Now that you have seen the beds, and you have seen what we are working with, we need to talk about some basics. And if you're new here, if you're new to gardening, this may be new to you. But if you are a seasoned gardener, these are just a quick reminder. So as you are thinking through renovating your bed, and something I think through is, your light requirements. Is it full sun? Is it part shade? Is it full shade? There are plants that love full sun that wouldn't do well in part shade, and vice versa. So you need to be aware of your light requirements. You also need to think through height requirements. Do you have a place or a space in this bed, in this location, that need to have smaller, shorter shrubs that aren't going to get very big? Do you need to think about dwarf shrubs? Or do you have a space where you can have great big plants? Something that you can, the sky's kind of the limit. Do you want flowering plants? Do you want some that are just, very simple, solid color leaves? Or, are you looking for evergreen? Do you want deciduous, meaning the leaves fall off in the winter time? Evergreen, the leaves stay on in the winter or throughout the year. And also you just want to think about, your spacing and your views, making sure that you are not obstructing views, making sure that you are thinking through all of the different aspects. Something else I want to bring up is knowing your zone. Knowing your zone is very important. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there is a certain thing called a zone hardiness map. This tells you what zone is for your area. I am zone 7B. I'm in central North Carolina. And so there is, as I said, a zone hardiness map that tells you what, it's based off of the highs and the lows in your area. And so there's certain plants that have that tolerance, either too hot or too cold for a specific location. And so that zone, knowing that zone is very helpful, especially when you buy your plants. There is about this big, most of the time, there is a plant tag on all of the plants at the nursery, at the garden center. And that has all of the details specific to that certain plant. So make sure as you are picking out plants, you can pick up the tag if you don't know anything about the plant, and you can read, oh, it's full sun, it's a shade-loving plant, it can only take so many hours of sun, and then it won't do well. It has zones, it has water requirements, and it also tells what type of soil it prefers most of the time. So be sure you're checking out your zone. Make sure you know the basics of what you're looking for in your location. You're very familiar. Also, make sure that you are paying attention to the plant tag. If you don't know anything about it, if you don't see it, look it up online. So I hope this has sort of given you a little bit of food for thought. You do want to keep those basics in mind anytime you are buying a plant for a specific location. So now we know what we are looking for in the beds and what we need to think about as we're looking at each one. Let's break down the beds that I am going to be renovating, which is 3 of them. The first one is this one. This is my focal point. This is my bed that I want to create the most impact. I want to spend a lot of money in this bed. Sorry, honey. I want this to be something that's beautiful because you look at it from the basement, you look at it from coming out of the garden, you look at it from being in the backyard, sitting on the fire at the fire pit. And so this is my impact bed. All right. I'm thinking gardenias, dwarf loropetalum, dwarf gardenias as well. Want a lot of color, but I want very rich colors. And so this bed is going to be one that is very impactful. This bed here is not one that I want to put a lot of emphasis on. I just want probably a single row of evergreen shrubs. So this bed I want to keep very simple. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy. So we have high impact coming into a low impact, just plants and very simple. Then we're coming around to our full sun bed. And this is where I want to create multi-dimensional bed. I want to do the evergreen on the back side, something with some height that's going to fill in, and then something in front of it, sort of in a zigzag shape, like a natural screen. And I will show you some examples of those right now. This is where I want to create some privacy on the inside and then something nice to look at from the outside. So we have full sun, a lot of options here. All right, our plan is coming together. So we can go one of 2 ways. We can go and put a design together And we can go ahead and buy the plants, or we can go plant shopping. And I think I want to go plant shopping. I want to go to my favorite nursery, Logan's, and I want to take you along with me. I want to get some plant inspiration, see what's new on the market, and just get some ideas in my mind before I actually do a design. And so my next step in the next video that you will see is going to be me ripping out all of these plants. We are going to really focus on cleaning up these beds, getting everything out, having a blank, clean slate with the exception of my beautiful Japanese maple. And then we will be able to take great pictures and do a design without me having to remove the background, which I happen to love that. And so I am going to go ahead and get that plan together, go ahead and start thinking through the ripping out process, and then it's time to go plant shopping. I think that about does it for this video, the very first part of this series, and I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope this has been inspiring for you, that if you do have a location in your landscape that's an eyesore, or even if it's your whole landscape, that you start thinking through ways that you can improve that and not be embarrassed like I am. So I am looking forward to seeing what comes of this, and in the next video, thinking through ripping out the plants and then plant shopping. I always find plant shopping to be so inspirational, picking out the perfect plant. So anyway, I want to thank you so much, and I hope this has been helpful. If anytime you are looking for a landscape designer and you don't know how to take your ideas and put them together, feel free to reach out. I am always happy to help, and you can check out my website at thesoutherndaisy.com. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you again in another video. I hope you get a chance to go out and get your hands dirty, and I will see you again soon. Take care.